You're still trying to decide who to be. The self you've been lately doesn't make sense anymore. That woman died with Uche. She's not useful, unobtrusive as she is, quiet as she is, ordinary as she is. Not when such extraordinary things have happened. But you still don't know where Nasun is buried, if Jija bothered to bury her. Until you've said farewell to your daughter, you have to remain the mother that she loved. So you decide not to wait for death to come. It is coming for you, perhaps not right now, but soon. Even though the big shake from the north missed Terimo, everyone knows it should have hit. The Sesapine do not lie, or at least not with such jangling, nerve-wracking, mind-screaming strength. Everyone from newborns to addled elders sensed that one coming. And by now, with refugees wandering down the road from less fortunate towns and villages, refugees who are all heading southward, the folk of Terimo will have begun to hear stories. They will have noticed the sulfur on the wind. They will have looked up at the increasingly strange sky and seen the change there as an ill omen. It is. Perhaps the headman Rask has finally sent someone over to see about Sume, the town in the next valley over. Most Terimos have family there. The two towns have been trading goods and people for generations. Calm comes before all else, of course, but as long as nobody's starving, kin and race can mean something too. Rask can still afford to be generous for now. Maybe. And once the scouts return and report the devastation that you know they'll find in Sume, and the survivors that you know they won't find, or at least not in any great number, denial will no longer be possible. That will leave only fear. Frightened people look for scapegoats. So you make yourself eat, this time carefully not thinking of other times and other meals with Jija and the kids. Uncontrollable tears would be better than uncontrollable vomiting, but hey, you can't choose your grief. Then, letting yourself quietly out through Lerna's garden door, you go back to your house. No one's around outside. They must all be at Rask's, waiting for news or duty assignments. In the house, one of the store caches hidden beneath the rugs holds the family's runny sack. You sit on the floor in the room where Uche was beaten to death, and there you sort through the sack, taking out anything you won't need. The set of worn, comfortable travel clothing for Nasun is too small. You and Jija put this pack together before Uche was born, and you've been neglectful in not refreshing it. A brick of dried fruit has molded over in fuzzy white. It might still be edible, but you're not desperate enough for that. Yet. The sack contains papers that prove you and Jija own your house, and other papers showing that you're current on your Courtant taxes and were both registered Terimo Calm and Resistant Use Caste members. You leave this, your whole financial and legal existence for the past 10 years, in a little discarded pile with the moldy fruit. The wad of money in a rubber wallet, paper, since there's so much of it, will be irrelevant once people realize how bad things are. But until then, it's valuable. Good tinder once it's not. The obsidian skinning knife that Jija insisted upon, and which you're unlikely to ever use, you have better natural weapons, you keep. Trade goods. Or at least a visual worn-off. Jija's boots can also be traded, since they're in good condition. You'll never wear them again, because soon you will find him. And then you will end him. You pause. Revise that thought to something that better befits the woman you've chosen to be. Better. You will find him and ask him why he did what he did, how he could do it, and you will ask him, more importantly, where your daughter is. Repacking the runny sack, you then put it inside one of the crates Jija used for deliveries. No one will think twice of seeing you carry it around town, because until a few days ago you did so often, to help out Jija's ceramics and tool-napping business. Eventually it will occur to someone to wonder why you're filling delivery orders when the headman is probably on the brink of declaring seasonal law. But most people will not think of it at first, which is what matters.